having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, all set. Let's do it.
Okay, give me a sec. Okay, is it good now, Alex? Yeah, brilliant. Hello, everybody joining. Hello, everybody joining on Zoom. Hello, everybody joining on LinkedIn. Hello, everybody joining on YouTube. My name is Sarah Simmons. It's a pleasure to see you guys today. I really invite you to relax and enjoy and let somebody else do the hard thinking for you. I am going to be sharing with you over the next 60 minutes or so 5 virtually unknown buyer secrets of how mission driven founders are making anywhere from 200K to 2 million plus in additional revenue with one really simple buyer psychology system to grow your business. So let's dive in. What you're getting today is a very simple 5-step playbook that is going to empower you to grow your business in months, not years. So, as we chat together, I want to know who you are, where you're from, what you do. Drop it in the chat and interact with me all the way through. We've got Alex here, Devora here, Eleanor here, Daniela here, Captain VJ here, and we've got loads of other people joining on LinkedIn Live, and my team are there for answer any questions in the chat as we go through. I'm going to be also doing a live Q&A at the end of our session today on how you can really unlock whatever your questions are about why buyers don't see you, why you're overlooked, what's holding you back from really getting buy-in, sell out, what's holding you back from being a category of one. Okay, so this system is all about enabling you to become a category of one business. That's what we're focusing on today because I spent over a decade working as a buyer, and I realized that buyers buy less than 1% of what they see. And what they see are category of one businesses. That's who they buy. And I realized as a buyer and as a mission driven founder myself, the most quickest way for you to build sustainable growth for your business and for you to be able to actually get where you want to go, whether that is growing by 200K, whether that is growing by 2 million, is by becoming a category of one business. Now, here's the deal in this masterclass. I'm not trying to sell you anything on this masterclass. Now, caveat, some of you are going to want to take action after this masterclass, and I will open a booking link at the end for the founders who really want to know more about how they unlock becoming a category of one business. There are 5 slots available for one-to-one calls with me directly. The rest are with my team, and the calls go to the ones with me directly, to the first people who book that call. So let's get clear. Unless you're already established as number one in your niche, the pressure is growing to stand out to buyers. The pressure of being overlooked is real. The pressure to build sustainable growth and wealth has increased, and the time to build your legacy has decreased. Now, there's a certain number of reasons for that pressure, and I'm going to go into it as we go through. But my question to you is, what are you doing about it? Taking matters into your own hands to figure out what buyers value about you, that's smart, but it's risky. Or are you implementing many growth systems from different people all the time and trying to figure out the one growth system that really is the one to make a difference? The thing is, there are many growth systems out there and they're promising big profits, but they also bring bigger risks. Those risks are large recurring investments, large cash outlay, time investment, overhead investment, and complexity. And who knows if any of those systems are going to pay off. I learned all this the hard way myself. Now, the other thing is, the other choice out there is really, what is the one system that's a proven roadmap for buyers to buy consistently? What if that system actually exists? What if you could have one simple system that was in-house, that you owned and understood to know what buyers valued about you the most? And one system that enabled you to be able to stand out to buyers as the category of one choice in your niche? What difference would that make for you? Instead of having to really guess what buyers want, keep living in confusion, implement more and more complicated systems, and take on more and more recurring overhead and wait years and years to make a profit. One system that you could have for you to build category of one growth for the next 12 months, the next 5 years, and the next 10 years ahead. One system where you could have all the benefits without those risks I talked about, the benefits of category of one leadership, a system that you own, you don't rent, a system that enabled you to know and understand how you could build consistent, predictable revenue, and a system that enabled you to create impact and legacy in months, not years. So the real question is it possible for you to take very little risk, yet still create life-changing, sustainable wealth and impact quickly for yourself? So here are our Impact Innovator members who do so. They're all members like you. They have a purpose. They're innovators. They care about making our world a better place. And they've gone from confused to getting funding in 30 days, overwhelmed and overlooked by buyers to 200K sellout launches in 30 days. From, gosh, Sarah, what's the thing that I need to focus on in my offer to really grow sales predictably? I don't know it. I've seen loads of coaches. I've done loads of systems, to 30% increases in sales, 2 million in additional sales revenue, and 8-figure sales systems in place. One of our founders even used this system I'm sharing with you today to have a successful exit in months. So my promise to you is I'm going to give you more information and insights on what buyers actually want from you for free than most people ever give you. And I do this because my mission for you is to make the impact you dream of without wasting time. So let's start with some founder truths. I'm brilliant at what I do, but I feel invisible to buyers. I'm frustrated. Founders with worse offers make 10x more money than me. I've hired agencies, coaches, and experts and spent thousands and thousands of dollars, and I'm still not scaling. I feel depleted. I quit my job to make a difference, and now I'm working harder than ever and earning less. Now, as Warren Buffett famously shared, and I learned, as I'm going to share with you in my own personal story, I learned all of this, all those feelings, all the things that I just shared the hard way. I didn't start out as a business growth mentor. I started out as a mission-driven founder, right? And I realized it doesn't matter how hard you row in the boat that you're in, just the boat that you are in. And I realized that, the systems that we're taught for mission-driven founders, they don't actually enable growth in a really systematic way. The reason why I learned that is because as a mission-driven founder, you're innovating something new. And when you're innovating something new, it's complicated. And there isn't a roadmap. There isn't a system specifically for mission-driven founders, how to get attention from buyers, how to stand out. So today we're going to unlock the mission-driven business movement and the single easiest boat that you can apply to your business using the 5 steps that I'm sharing today one simple roadmap for you to get seen by buyers, bought consistently, and build sustainable wealth and growth as a category of one business. By the end of this masterclass, you'll have discovered the buyer psychology system that's quietly empowering mission-driven founders to become category of one leaders in months, not years, and impact thousands of people, and why today is the greatest opportunity of all time for mission-driven founders to build sustainable growth, wealth, and legacy. You'll also have unlocked your own in-house consistent growth method that is enabling the founders that I mentioned to add hundreds of thousands in revenue to their businesses every month and for them to build a team that scales without them. Now, I will be sharing 5 exact steps in a story that I'm sharing with you today. Every step is an unknown buyer secret. And when you apply each step into your business, it will compound your growth in months. And by the end of this masterclass, I'm also going to be sharing with you real stories of mission-driven founders who have ditched complicated funnels and systems to build one simple roadmap to scale quickly. Welcome to the new people joining us. Welcome to Sunit. Welcome to Na. Welcome to the people on LinkedIn. We're just getting started and we're talking about 5 buyer secrets that are going to enable your business that's mission-driven to stand out to buyers, stop being overlooked, and scale as a category of one business with one in-house system you own. Now, first of all, a little about me. Who is Sarah Simmons? I was the buyer who was depressed. Before I was a mission-driven founder, I worked in the corporate world for over a decade. I controlled $100 million buying budgets, and my bosses called me the best buyer they'd ever seen. But I felt like a failure inside because I was trapped making them millions, but with a golden handshake, not fulfilling my mission to transform businesses into purpose-led businesses that scale. And I knew that mission-driven businesses were the future. Now, the call that changed everything for me was a call with my dad. I was crying. I felt that life was passing me by, and so was my chance to make an impact. And my dad said, you know what, Sarah, as a buyer, you have a really amazing skill. You understand buyer psychology and you understand what makes buyers buy. Your mission is to use that skill for good. And it was at that moment that I quit my corporate job and I became a mission-driven founder myself with a mission to figure out really how do buyers buy for this new purpose-led generation we live in. So as a mission-driven founder myself, I realized that buyers today, they need simplicity to buy, right? And for all the innovators out there innovating new products, new solutions, new businesses, buyers need everything packaged up from you in a very, very simple way. And I realized that the systems out there to grow businesses weren't enabling founders to be able to package up their business in a simple way. And this was the breakthrough that I realized all that buyer psychology I'd learned being a billion-dollar buyer was what mission-driven founders needed to be able to scale. So I then built an in-house system for founders to be able to simplify their entire business and streamline it and strip it back to the things that count in buyers' minds, stripping that business back to everything that makes that business stand out as a category of one business and enables that founder to be able to have a system in-house for their team to grow and for them to grow without having to rely on outside experts. So this system works because it's all underpinned with the back-end knowledge of knowing buyer psychology. Now, what I did was reverse engineer as a buyer what I chose from founders to how I chose and selected category of one businesses and delivered it into a format for any founder today, any mission-driven founder to lead as a category of one business. The first founder who used it grew from 2 to 4 million in 18 months. And the 50 founders who've used it since are having amazing scaling results in months, not years. So let's dive in to the first secret of how you stand out to buyers as a category of one business. The first step, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, every secret I'm sharing here today is a step for you to move forward in the world with your business, that it stands out to buyers as a complete entirety of a category of one. So buyers just say, yes, Daniela, Eleanor, Nah, Sunit, Devora, I want your business. And that starts with building a category of one foundation. So let's go into what I mean by that. Today, if you're replaceable or one of many, your business is at risk of being overlooked at best, and at risk of becoming redundant at worst. Because here's what happens when our world is uncertain by all the different stresses that are going on right now. Buyers don't stop spending, they stop gambling. When the market gets uncertain, buyers choose the category of one business. That's it. And the rest of the businesses are left behind. Category of one companies, they also transcend commodity and they defy comparison and they can charge premium prices for what they want. Today, buyers need that instant clarity of why to choose you over anyone else, because alongside the tensions of uncertain world, AI making everything commoditized, there's more and more entrepreneurs, founders, and new businesses than ever before. Everybody is overwhelmed, buyers in particular, and founders too. So what matters is you being able to deliver your mission quickly as a category of one business. And the other thing is, whatever your mission is, whether you've been a purpose-led founder for years, 3 years, 5 years, 2 years, or 30 years. I've been a mission-driven founder since 2008. And you know what's amazing? Finally, the world has caught up. Not only that, but we're in this massive shift in time where 84 trillion of wealth is being transferred to millennials and Gen Z. And what they care about, a huge proportion of them, over 70%, they value purpose before price. So with all these market shifts happening, uncertainty, AI, more entrepreneurs than ever, what buyers want is they want to understand your purpose in a very clear category of one foundation. If you don't do that and deliver that, you hear this: send me an email. That means you are replaceable. Now, you know you're irreplaceable when you hear this. Yes, you're exactly what I've been looking for. Yes, I can't wait to get started. Yes, where do I sign up? So how do you build this category of one foundation? This is the buyer psychology framework. You want to strip your business back, your organization back, your innovation back to the one thing that you do that makes you irreplaceable. You want to focus on communicating why you're the obvious choice. You want to focus on what transformation you deliver, and you want to focus on your authentic story, not an AI voice. So I love sharing real stories because, like you, I'm a real person. And I share stories of our members who've applied these techniques. And I'm sharing a different story and case study in every step. Imagine that each step I'm sharing today is part of building a category of one business. And the first step is that foundation. And imagine each step I'm sharing today is enabling you to compound your ability to increase your revenue by hundreds of thousands of dollars monthly or millions per year, depending on which level you're at in terms of your organization size. So Marie and Jason have an organic food company, good product, passionate founders, doing a few million in revenue. Now, their problem was they were competing with hundreds of other organic brands online and 50 online in-person brands. They were exhausted and frustrated because they didn't really know whether their mission even mattered anymore. They felt overlooked and they couldn't scale without working more hours. They couldn't have a team that scaled without them. And they wanted to take their brand, they wanted to exponentially grow to an 8-figure business. They were like, how do we do that? Now, they had Marie, tough woman, like you guys. She'd tried the best coaches in the world before me. And she said that no one had been a buyer. She'd also been a buyer herself. And she said no one had been able to unlock her business's unique power. Unique power is the essence of what you do. That's a combination of your mission and your innovation, right? And it's the most important thing that buyers want to find from you. So this is how we did this for Marie. What we focused on with Marie, and we do this together in the first step of doing that is the one-to-one call I mentioned at the beginning that I'm going to offer you guys at the end. The first step we do together is start to unlock where your business's unique power lies from a buyer's point of view. So I help you see and what in your business makes you irreplaceable. And it needs to be something really simple. It needs to be from your heart, because where founders get unstuck, and Marie got unstuck before, she'd hire positioning agents and, branding consultants, and they created a great strap line, but they didn't get to Marie's heart. When we went through exercises and calls together, I asked Marie certain questions from a buyer's point of view. Why do you do what you do? And I helped Marie unlock that she does what she does because she wants to deliver real food and things made the French way. And from that unlock is the beginning of building your category of one foundation from your heart to your dream buyer's heart, because people connect heart to heart, and that's what people want today. So the clear transformation that we unlock for Marie for her category of one foundation, she cares about real food for real people. And from there, we were able to build her authentic buyer appeal, buyers who value real food and will pay a premium for it. Now, that one shift for Marie, remember I said just a few months ago, each shift today is going to 10x your ability to build increased sales, increase profitability, and decrease the amount of waste that you have not being seen by buyers or making products and services no one values. So that first shift for Marie, being able to say go from saying she makes organic food to making real food and things the French way as her category of one foundation enables Marie's profits and sales revenue to jump by 30% in just a few months. For real. Now, the key insight why this worked and does work for every founder and for you is because this isn't about becoming better. It's about becoming incomparable. Do you see the difference? Marie was saying, I make organic food. Well, hundreds, thousands say that. To then being able to say, hey, we make real food and things the French way. No one else was able to do that. What that transformation meant was that suddenly Marie, didn't have to be the face of her business. She could leave her team to be able to know what her unique value proposition was for buyers so that they could sell and explain why her prices were premium. They could spot a real customer who they were going to really focus on that came into her restaurant and delicatessen. And that was why Marie was able to get out the kitchen and have her team growing without her. So imagine that first step for you, that first buyer secret for you. How much of an impact would that enable you to make? Write down a figure for yourselves. Would it be able for you to make 100,000, 500,000, 1 million, 2 million more with just that step? Okay. I'm going to share as well in our second step how this journey compounds with another of our founders who actually was able to unlock this first step, category of one, and then the next step that I'm going to move into, you'll reveal it in a minute, and they were able to make another 7 figures in 12 months using this simplification method. Remember what I said as well, buyers value simplicity. Today, they need to know every single part of what makes you a category of one business. We've covered the first step. That's category of one foundation. Let's dive into the second step and secret. That is streamlining your entire business to a high impact offer. What do I mean by that? So, the problem today, it's a good problem. Buyers choose less than 1% of what they're shown. But it's a bad problem for the world because we spend $49 trillion on stuff, products and services, huge amount of waste. I discovered that being a buyer myself, right? And what I also discovered and why I'm able to help founders with this system is because buyers don't want everything from you. They want and will choose one high impact offer from you over 10 average offers every single time. Now, that doesn't mean you need to sell one thing. It means you need to really unlock and go through a process of really systemizing and streamlining your business to deliver a service and an offering that is fully encapsulated as one high impact offer buyers understand. Now, I was just mentioning there was a business I was going to share with you. This is a winery business. Like, they sell products. Now, they realized that their high impact offer wasn't actually about the products of wine they sell. It was about the service that they delivered, right? That was their high impact offer. And it was that unlock that was the shift for them to be able to scale by 7 figures in a year. So I've got a question on LinkedIn. What buyer data drives fastest revenue growth? That is a brilliant question from LinkedIn. The buyer data that drives the fastest revenue growth is exactly what I'm talking about now. It is about analyzing your business to unlock your high impact offer, right? So as I just mentioned with this example of the winery, you would have thought that their high impact offer was, they made like 100 different lines of wine. You would have thought it would be certain wines that they were selling. But what we unlocked, step one, category of one, was that they were a bespoke winery doing family-owned sustainable winery making. And when they moved into step 2, really analyzing their business to unlock the high impact offer, that is where they unlocked that their biggest customers, it wasn't about the wines they were making, it was about the service that they were delivering. So when they had that clarity, they were able to systemize their service and build a sales team around it. And they were able to nurture their clients more. And that enabled them to grow a 7-figure growth. So of every step I'm sharing with you today, the fastest revenue growth comes from this part, really unlocking what your high impact offer is. What most founders do is overfunction because they don't know what their high impact offer is. So they just try to convince people to choose them, buy them. They justify their prices. They compete on price. They chase for attention. But when you have absolute clarity on what your high impact offer is, you don't need to convince people. You don't need to justify your prices. You don't need to compete, and you don't need to chase for attention, right? Now, if your growth is inconsistent, the key questions to ask yourself are these. Is your business too complicated or too generic? Most businesses' growth is inconsistent, and this is the reason why. If a buyer, can just scroll and find 10 of you or 100 of you, they might buy from you once, but not consistently. And if you're an innovator, a mission-driven innovator, innovating an amazing product or service or coaching business, but your offer's too complicated for people to understand, they'll just move on and they'll say, I'll think about it. So how do you deal with that? So you use buyer psychology framework to really build a very high impact offer that is simple to understand. Now, here's what I learned about building a high impact offer myself as a founder, right? So I went from being a corporate buyer to being a mission-driven founder. This is what enabled me, those two skills, to be able to help founders today, because I had to first do it myself, be a mission-driven founder, to figure out where all the problems were in scaling and where all the problems were to actually get noticed by buyers as a founder. I knew it from a buyer's point of view. So I built an award-winning sustainable jeans business, and I was able to get that jeans business into the best stores in less than 12 months. I was able to get us over a million people awareness by being featured in the best magazines, all without spending money on ads, and all with having one very simple offer, high impact offer. So what I did was I applied buyer psychology to an innovative space, right? I was building a brand new product that had never been made before. And I focused on taking this innovation, but making it really simple to understand. So I was making handmade jeans that were completely sustainable, that were totally fair trade, that were made with zero dyeing, that were carbon offset, complicated innovation. And I simplified that back to a high impact offer that had a category of one status, which was feel good jeans, right? Simple. So I took the complicated innovation and I made it unique and simple. Feel good jeans. The thing also to understand about buyer psychology is that you're not just selling to the person in front of you. You're selling to the people around them, their husband, their wife, their board of directors, whoever it is. So simplicity in your offering is so important. So feel good jeans is something that buyers' bosses could understand. It's something that press could understand. It's something that customers could understand, right? It's a universal truth. I took a complicated innovation and I simplified it. And that enabled me to get amazing results. As I said, stocked in the best stores, Impact Entrepreneur of the Year, celebrity cult following, 1 million organic reach, no money spent on advertising. That's what happens to you when you strip back all the noise of what you offer and make it a very, very simple offering that connects to people from your heart to theirs. First step, category of one foundation. And the second step is analyzing everything you're doing and saying, what's the thing that means something to people? So you see the thing with those feel good jeans, right? They were feel good in how they were made, but they also felt good when they were worn. So I looked at this offering from both points of view. So that is the second step for you to build sustainable scale for your business. It's to really analyze, and it's the fastest way for you to build revenue, everything you're doing, and figure out, go through all the analysis techniques, right? To really strip back your business to see your high impact offer in everything that you're doing. So the secret 3 for really building scale, building sustainable growth, and making sure that your business has longevity as a category of one business is social selling. What do I mean by this? It's not making a piece of content. The truth about selling today is that wherever you're selling, online, offline, buyers are overwhelmed with choice. That's why, as I shared today, every step of what I'm sharing today is about simplifying your business, simplifying your offer, simplifying your brain into these key steps that people understand so that you simplify to buyers why to choose you. And every step we're talking about today is another step of simplifying your business and your offering, everything for buyers to choose you out of thousands of choices. Because the truth is today that most people get lost in the crowd, no matter how good they are. And here is what I learned. Today, winners in every niche focus on this really important step: founder-led movements, no matter what you do or what you make. The difference to stand out today is, and not be vanilla and not be overlooked, is to build your voice and show up for your ideal clients and buyers. Now, as an entrepreneur, I realize the problem for founders, right? None of us love making content, so we outsource it. We hate selling, so we build systems. We want to just hide behind our desk. We don't want to be social. But the thing is, people want to know and understand your business from its heart to theirs. Now, when we outsource to all these different experts and people, the result is either vanilla, I mentioned generic before, or confusion, because those experts can't see into your own heart. So if they go and they make content for you or try to sell for you or build partnership brokering for you, they're losing your true essence. And the result of that is that you're left on the shelf, you're overlooked. So you go and hire all these different experts, spend thousands every month on the different experts, implementing sales, implementing marketing for you, yet you're still overlooked and can't build predictable growth. So I realized this really important secret that any founder can do. You need to become the only choice, not just in terms of the category of one foundation that you build at the beginning, step one, not just in step two, your offering, but the only choice in how you show up for people online. You want to become the voice in your industry. And there's a method to this. It's easy to do. Once you unlock your voice in a formulaic way, how you are the number one in your niche, you can build a movement. Then you can have team members do these exercises for you. And the result is that you can build sales systems that you don't have to rely on outside companies or experts to do them for you. You don't have to rent your growth from other people. You can do it all in-house. So this is what I did in my second business, Bespoke Your World, and how I figured out as an entrepreneur who knows nothing about content, how you actually, show up online rather than just posting into the void, posting in a way that builds a community, posting in a way that enables you to get in front of top clients around the world. So what I did was I built a startup to 300K in revenue, an online bespoke shopping business without using a single agency. Through this method of social selling, which is about showing up online as the thought leader in your niche, I was able to attract top 0.1% clients, including royalty, Fortune 500 executives, and global influencers, build multiple six-figure months with zero paid on ads. And the total investment, I was saying, think about it as a founder. How much are you spending every month? Maybe you're trying to do it all yourself and you're not spending any money. Maybe you're spending 10,000 a month, 20,000, 30,000 more, whatever it is, you're spending money and you're losing time. And even if you're not spending money, you're losing time, which also has a cost, right? So I paid for all those experts before, and I realized that, they just made me look vanilla. They didn't get buyers to understand my value. Whereas when I went through a process to build my own social selling formula that cost a fraction right? Less than 50K to implement for an entire business launch, I was able to attract and sell to these top clients consistently. So, what happened then, and why I'm sat here today, is that founders, mission driven founders, started saying to me, how did I become unmissable so fast? And my dream for all mission driven founders is that you can scale. So that's when I realized my deepest mission is giving this methodology to mission driven founders themselves. So I taught them the formula, which isn't just this step, it's all the previous steps. Category of one foundation, high impact offer, social selling formula. And the next step I'm going to share, I taught them that formula and they went from good to great in days. They went from, inconsistent growth to 200K sellout launches. And we're going to look at one of these right now. So here's Carol, an amazing, really great business, a D2C brand with brilliant credentials, Cartier award winner, Harvard alumni, but was still lost in the crowd. She was doing several million, right? She was selling all sorts of different services and products. But because she hadn't got clear on a high impact offer, she didn't know what her profitable area was, right? So we quickly built her category of one, the number one responsible Yak World brand in the world. Then we quickly analyzed and unlocked her high impact offering, the way that she could really elevate her business in buyers' eyes. And then we looked at this step, social selling. How does Carol, actually build a network of other people to sell for her? Okay. Now, Carol didn't want to do anything social. She's a founder, right? And the thing with social selling is you can show up as a thought leader, then you can really build a formula for other people to do this for you. And thought leadership is just one part of social selling. The next part of social selling is how you build a tribe, how you build organic partnerships where people sell for you. So really quickly, we were able to put this together for Carol. Now, Carol will say to you, she says on a video on my website, she for years to scale with different experts before me. And all those experts did was basically confuse Carol onto what was her unique power, onto what made her a category of one, onto what made her give her a high impact offer. So she was trying to be everything to everyone. She lost sight of what made her unique, what made her a category of one. And where very quickly, when she went through this systematic approach with me, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, she got clear on each step, category of one, high impact offer. And then she was able to know who her ideal clients and partners were, what her social selling strategy was, which is what we build for founders. And then the results were, instead of one of many, she became the number one in her niche. Instead of posting collections, she posted high impact offer, built a raving tribe of fans. And instead of chasing sales, became the number one leader for people to partner with. And the result for Carol was that she went from inconsistent sales to 200K consistent sellout launches. And Carol's now in the process of scaling towards an 8-figure business. And Carol is gone from like a localized business to now branching out globally because she has this systematic approach in place. So that's the next step for you building sustainable scale. And it's the next secret for you to know. Buyers want to understand who you are socially, not just, the content you make, not just the thought leadership you do, but as an entire business. What are you doing to connect with your tribe? How are you showing up for people? Secret 4 is really about mindset. How are you limiting yourself on your own growth? Now let's take a look at mindset, right? Limiting yourself on your own growth can be anything. You can write it down for yourself now. You can think about it. Limiting for me, it was, thinking that these old systems I'd been taught help me scale when they don't. Limiting my own growth also was like, oh, I'm just going to try and do everything myself rather than get help. Limiting my own growth was like, just sticking to one method of growth rather than really looking outward at all the different social ways I could grow my sales. Now, why was I limiting my own growth? Because actually, what I came to understand is that most of our success is controlled by our mindset, and that really is for real. And we have a mindset that is very limited and one dimensional. The fact that you guys are here shows that you already have a limitless mindset because you're open to really seeing how to take your business in a new direction. Because here is what I learned. The reason why founders don't scale or don't lead as category of one leaders or become redundant is because really they don't look at their business in a limitless way. They try and do everything themselves. They try and take shortcuts on their growth. They don't invest in their growth. And they spend so much energy really not having the alignment of the steps that I talked to, steps 1, 2, 3, to where we are. They will try and be everything to everyone, not build a category of one. They'll try and serve everybody, try and make more and more different offers, trying to sell to everybody rather than socially sell to their tribe. The result is burnout. Burnout is emotional. And it happens because we're just taking too much energy, trying to do too many things rather than really figuring out what works. It was after this moment that I realized that. Whatever, I use mountain analogy here because, whatever you want to do in your business's growth, it's really about systemizing your approach. Hello for everybody new joining us. Hello, hello. Hi, Curtis joining. So, years after years, I wanted to summit mountains. And, you can use the analogy, you want to scale your business, you want to build a legacy. And I kept trying using the same systems. And then I realized what was wrong was my mindset. My mindset thinking, that I could, as I said, do it all myself, or I didn't need to invest in my growth, or like I just would follow the old systems that had never worked before. And then that's where I kept getting stuck. And one day I made a new decision to go for a new roadmap and take a top 1% expert guide. And the truth, this is why I actually became a business growth mentor myself, because I saw the difference that really having a top 1% expert mentor and guide makes to your life in whichever way and every way that you want to grow and summit mountains in business, in life, in impact. Having this guy, Mike, who is ex-SAS, Army, expert, teach me how to climb mountains, changed my life. I went from being stuck to summiting some of the biggest mountains in the world. There I am at Base Camp Everest last year. And it really just taught me this powerful lesson that, we have a mindset where we often keep going as we are, yet we need to open our mindset and take a new road. So as you sit here today, you think about which future for yourself wins. Do you want to keep going as you are, right? Or do you want to take a new road in your life? The new road is where you unlock your real power is you. Let's dive into Shift 5 and Secret 5. Impact Innovator OS. So each secret here has been a systematic way to be seen by buyers, to build your status as a category of one, and then also to build sustainable scale so that you can go from whichever revenue you are. I've got founders who are startups and they haven't been able to crack getting to 100K. I've got multiple 7-figure business owners that haven't been able to crack getting to 8 figures, right? Wherever you are, taking this systematic approach for your business is a transformation. So as an entrepreneur, I invested myself piece by piece. I lost loads of money along the way, but then I noticed a pattern. When we invest in all those different piece by piece experts, they don't talk to each other and our unique power is lost. Then we have all these different systems that are complicated. We can't see the wood for the trees. We can't have a team that actually understands our business because we don't really understand what makes it a category of one or what our high impact offer is or how to socially sell. We've passed it off to other people, but it's costing us loads of money every month, but it isn't getting us anywhere. And that's when I unlocked this big secret number 5. You need one system to scale because innovation is complex and buyers need simplicity to buy. Buyers need simplicity to buy changed everything for me. Now, as a buyer, I knew it, but as a founder, I still knew it, but I didn't know how to systemize it. So I built it. And I realized why those fragmented solutions don't work. Because you hire positioning, strategy consultants, branding experts, copywriting experts, growth strategists, marketing people, content people, sales, website, SEO, each brilliant but disconnected. And the result is, well, I say buyer confusion, but also founder confusion and team confusion. You can't scale a business if all the different parts of it don't talk to each other. And that's the problem with the existing founder solutions that I found as a mission-driven founder myself. So what I did and what Impact Innovator OS does, I built one integrated buyer solution, right? All underpinned by buyer psychology. And rather than any of our members having to outsource any part of their business to people or rent growth from other people that they don't understand or have nothing left at the end of it, this solution is having one simple in-house system to replace all the fragmented experts, systems that talk to each other and that are built on the 4 steps that I've shared with you today. One system that builds your category of one business, one system that streamlines and analyzes your business to what makes it a high impact offer, one custom strategy on how you should build your social selling movement, one system around how you can really make your business limitless, and everything being done for you. So this is how the system works really quickly. As I said at the beginning, quick where I am, 60 minutes delivering this to you, and hopefully a couple of minutes for questions at the end as well. Now, why do I care about quick results for founders? Because you have a mission and the world needs you and there's no time to waste. So with this system, we get going 30 days. We transform your business and unlock where you are a category of one so you can optimize your branding, your socials, not change, optimize organic food to real food and things the French way, giving you and your team instant clarity on what makes you stand out and giving buyers instant clarity of that too. That is a huge unlock from you becoming diluted to becoming crystallized as a category of one. That unlocks the next unlock, which is analyzing everything that your business does to streamline it back to what is the high impact offer. And that connects back to what you're delivering as a category of one. So here's Rachel. We do that in 60 days. Analyze your offering, find out where you can make the most money and the most profit in your services and your products. And then we help you streamline that and systemize it so that it's not confusing, it's simple to understand, and your team can scale without you. That enabled Rachel to go and raise loads of money in her fundraising, is enabling her to scale to 8 figures and enabling her team to scale without her. Carol, I mentioned to you before, she was making all sorts of different products. We were able to streamline that. And then that enabled Carol to have consistent 200K sellout launches. Then here's another totally different industry. This is Simone, who runs a coaching business. He was able to take a really complicated coaching innovation, systemize and streamline that into a systematic offer that he is now scaling really simply and quickly. The next thing we do is we build for each founder and member in our system their own social selling traction engine and roadmap. So everybody has a different way to build organic sales growth, which is what social selling is all about, a different route to the end goal. So when we've analyzed and worked with you from each step 1 and 2, we work with you in this step. Right, what is Alexandra's way that she's going to show up as a thought leader? How is she going to build organic partnerships? What's the right route for Alexandra? The results are absolutely brilliant. One of our members right now, she's a charity. She implemented this process. She's raised multiple 6 figures in funding and attracted billion-dollar partners who are now onboarded with her charity. Again, in around 90 days, having our systematic buyer-led approach. So how this works is a very simple system, a very simple roadmap, and then one-to-one expert buyer feedback that you get, consistently enabling you to not think, what do buyers love or value about me, or how do I show up online, or what's my high impact offer, but to know and have an expert working with you and giving you the roadmap, everything step by step. Now, I only invite 2 new members a month to join Impact Innovator OS. And that starts by me helping you unlock your unique power in that founder call that I mentioned. Now, you have 2 choices. You can take everything I've shared today and implement it on your own, right? Now, you'll get there. I just can't guarantee how long it will take, because this is complicated, but it's very simple when you have a system. So this now is your choice, whether you have months to wait, years to wait, or weeks to wait. If you want to get on with making the impact you know you're capable of really quickly, then this is what you can do. You can apply for your free Category of 1 growth assessment. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, these are normally with my strategy team, but for the next 5 people who book calls, they are guaranteed to be with me in the call. And what we do in that call, I'm going to ask you diagnostic questions. And those questions are designed to help me see with you where your ability is to scale, to strip away anything that you're doing, and to find the gold within your business that makes you a Category of 1 business to buyers. So this is a golden opportunity. I only offer it rarely. This is the first step for me to really see you, and I don't give it to everybody. So you have to go through a quick application process, and I want to see where you are in the area of your growth. And then if I think that my program is going to be suited for you, then I will make sure that you've got that call. So you click the link here on the QR code, or my team are also going to drop it in the chat. Now, we are up to the hour, and what I want to ask you is any other questions that anybody has. So we have a few minutes left for questions, and I really want to encourage you. Ask me a question. You know, questions I get asked is like, how does it work on a practical basis? So here's my answer to you. Imagine that in your business right now, there's all this gold sitting there, right? There's gold in how you just define yourself as a Category of 1. There's gold in your offering, right? Like when you can take your offering and streamline it back, there's more profitability to make. There's gold in how you show up and getting really clear on everything to do with how you show up socially. So in each step, that's why really quickly this method enables people to make more money and make more impact. Yes, Curtis, you have a question.
Yeah, I do. Can you describe the distillation of how you get down to a Category of 1? Here in my personal experience, I'm considering myself a business consultant, but I have a large amount of experience across all functional departments within a small business. So my distillation process has become almost unmanageable because I've got experience from HR through sales and marketing, IT, risk compliance, insurance. Really hard to distill.
Cool.
So could you describe your process with
Yeah.
that?
So what I do with founders, as a category of one, we all do so many things in our lives. So it's a great point that you share, Curtis. But the thing that never changes within us as founders is our mission. And that mission comes from something you saw when you were growing up. It comes from a legacy that you have. And that never, ever changes. So when I meet with each founder, my job is helping you to get really clear on the beginning, the root of everything you do that stems from your mission. So you might have missed it, Curtis, because you joined late, but I mentioned a lady called Marie who has like an organic food business. And obviously that isn't unique, and she was selling loads of different things. And in her category of one growth assessment, I started to ask Marie, leading questions about her mission and why she does what she does. And what we got to was her love of nutritious food, and her love of being able to serve real food to people. And that enabled Marie to get really clear on how to package up her category of one status. So that's the answer to the question. It's you're asking about, is it values, ethics, and morals to drill down? It's all of those things, Curtis, but it's getting to your heart, right? So that's what we do together. It's getting to a story of something that shifted in your life. So for me, what gave me my mission, why I help purpose-driven and impact-driven businesses today, is because I grew up, my dad was an entrepreneur and he was a pioneer of sustainable manufacturing. And I grew up seeing the positive side that what we make, the products and services we make, can have on the world. Then I became a buyer and I saw, we actually spend 50 trillion on stuff and buyers buy 1% of what we're shown, right? And bye, Sunit, great to meet you. Buyers buy less than 1% of what they're shown. And this gave me my mission, Curtis, that actually we have to make everything the good stuff for people and planet. And founders need to be able to simplify what they do so more of their products get bought. So I hope that's helpful. And it's all values and it's all ethics and it's all morals. But your mission really, this is logic, what you've shared. And what we need to do is a diagnostic process to get to your heart. And from there, you become clear, you get your category of one. And then whether you do all these different things in human resources, sales, etc., you can build a formula that will all stem from one solid category of one. Let me know if that's helpful, and any other questions. Nah, do you have a question? Daniela, do you have a question? Eleanor, Captain VJ?
Mute, yes. Thank you, Sarah. That was a great presentation. My question is, after the 45 minutes grace call and the diagnostics, how much money is involved? How much to the founder?
So I have different price points now. You'll see them when you apply online. There's different price points, and this is for a year mastermind. Yeah. So have a look at that when you apply online, and you'll see if it's the right investment level for you. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Daniela, do you have any questions? Anyone on LinkedIn? Hi, Daniela.
Hi, no, nothing from me. Thank you. The presentation has been great. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Cool. So for those of you who book a call, I'll be really excited to meet you. And for any of the others of you, if you're not ready for a call, then I'm always here. You can follow our newsletter. You can follow our content. My name is Sarah Simmons, and my team are really happy to be here with you today. Thank you to my team. And I share this last thing. Together, we can and will transform our world. So thank you very much, everybody. Take care and have a brilliant rest of your day. And thank you for being here.